What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Recently on my stream, Fict, a popular submission artist on the channel, suggested I run Togetic, but not just any Togetic, a legacy Steel Wing Togetic. Steel Wing helps it get more fast move pressure against otherwise tanky Pokemon that it might have trouble farming down and only has charge move pressure against. So we decided to give it a shot, and we had a lot of fun with our high rank Togetic. This is like a rank 8 or something. This is a really high rank Togetic with those IVs. It's also a shiny that we have, so we're gonna have some fun. And this thing completely walls FLYGON, which was giving me a lot of trouble in the Fantasy Cup. And by the way, this is gonna be the last Fantasy Cup Great League video I will feature. I'm a little bit happy that it's over, to be honest. It wasn't my favorite meta. If you enjoyed the meta, that's great. I know a lot of people enjoyed the meta. I just personally struggled with it. I couldn't really find a grasp on the meta. I found some success here and there, but I was probably under 500. I think I was definitely under 500 in terms of the week for my Fantasy Cup battles. So I couldn't find a whole lot of consistency. But this legacy, shiny, high-ranked Togetic was one of the highlights. And we're going to go through the battles here. We've got Togetic, Registeel, and my own FLYGON. If you can't beat the FLYGONs, join them, I guess. And here we go. This opposing FLYGON's going to get a big farm. But here's the beauty of Togetic. Completely walls FLYGON. We do get denied there. It's unfortunate. But completely walls the energy of this FLYGON. Unless they're running like Stone Edge, of course. But no one's running Stone Edge in the Fantasy Cup. And this game just completely RPSing the opponent. Not a whole lot they could have really done in this game, to be honest. That was like perfectly hard countered. So we get a pretty easy and straightforward win there to start things off. And let's see what happens in this next game. By the way, if you guys are into energy drinks, sometimes I pour them in my bottle here. Give myself a boost of energy. 0 sugar, 0 calorie Rogue energy drinks. Code RISE, 20% off. I am a Rogue partner. I don't plug it very often, but I figure why not if you want to help support the channel in a certain way. They're also based in Wisconsin, which is my home. So that's kind of cool. Toge into Azumarill. Okay. There you have. Rise. Conspiracy confirmed. Rise pays his opponents to top left for him. I don't know what that person was. I think they're tanking for Go Battle Day probably, or Go Battle Week, because we're getting double the sets this week. It's pretty crazy, so I'm excited for that. Feel free to check me out over on Twitch, where I'll be streaming my battles probably around like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Central today when this video goes live. Join me over there. It's still neat to see. Probably like on average once or twice per stream, we'll get at least one person that files in. It's like, hey, Grise, long-time YouTube viewer, first time checking out your Twitch stream, and I always appreciate that. It's always fun. You guys want to join the gang over there. Bench Styler, and look at this. Togetic had just another great lead against Escavalier. Just completely walling the Escavalier. If they are running Acid Spray, of course they can deal some super effective damage, but Acid Spray is like strictly a debuff move. It's not going to do that much damage, even though it's super effective. So we're chilling here. We're going for the area lays. I ended up misplaying this because I kept brain farting on the Acid Spray energy. I kept thinking it was like cheaper than it actually was. So I could have threatened to take him out before that next Acid Spray. Instead, I ended up staying in. I take another, and there comes Galarian Weezing. Now, I don't have like a super hard check to this, so I actually throw both of my area laces before heading in here. And we're able to get a shield off of the Weezing. And I'm just going to hope that they're not crazy. The one person running Play Rough here, I'm just going to assume it's the standard Sludge Overheat. And he's going to get off another move. I think I don't know if he was even at the Overheat, to be honest, but I think I respected it because I was afraid Overheat could KO from there. So I'm not sure if he was even there, to be honest, but I respected it. We're going for our Earth Power. Rise, why are you running Earth Power over Scorching Sands? Honestly, Earth Power is Legacy, right? So I think I just didn't want to TM off my Legacy Earth Power. And we have a hat. I went with the shiny PNG of the FLYGON in the graphic, or editor Chris did, I should say. And that's only because I couldn't find like a good FLYGON with a hat. I guess I could have made one myself and taken it from the game with the snapshot. That's what I do for shadows. Boyghost, shout out to him. Boyghost taught me how to do that. Take a snapshot of the shadows from the game and then like kind of crop out the background so you can use them as graphics. I lose the charge attack priority here. That's unfortunate. But even though I'm going to lose CMP and get knocked out by the acid spray, I can simply lock on down with Registeel. We have a shield advantage, and we're in a good spot here. That is a G to the G. Yeah, by the way, if you guys submit me battles with a shiny shadow Pokemon, I mean, the odds that this will, like, get the word across. But if you guys submit me battles with a shiny shadow Pokemon, odds are I don't have that shiny shadow because I only have a handful of them. So make sure to either be in contact with me or to send me a snapshot with like a black background of your shiny shadow so I can actually make a PNG for that. It's not a huge deal, but oftentimes if I get a shiny shadow Pokemon submission, I don't have that, and then I try to contact the person. That's why I added that's the whole reason I added the contact thing to my submission form, and then I'll oftentimes have trouble contacting them. So I just go to like random Discords, like my Discord. Feel free to join, by the way. Links in the description. And, or like Toph Town. And I'll ask friends like, hey, do you have a shiny shadow this for, by any chance? And sometimes I'll get lucky and people will send me one pretty quick. But anyway, we're on so many side tangents. It makes sense. It's the end of the week. It's Friday. Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Let me know in the comments today. Question of the day. What are you looking forward to this weekend? Any fun plans? Maybe it's as simple as just chilling, where you're off of work and you're looking forward to relaxing. Maybe you're going out of town. Maybe you're seeing some old friends. Maybe you're like me and you're excited to watch the Packers this Saturday, hopefully upset the San Francisco 49ers. Whatever you're doing, let me know. FLYGON, gonna have to eat a move. It's just a rock slide though, so lucky for us. We're gonna get the full mud shot down against G-Fisk. In comes the opposing Azumarill, and here we get walled by the Reggie. So Togetic was doing so well. Unfortunately, here we're in a tough spot. And I'm trying to think, maybe is there any sort of win con? Could I potentially overfarm against Reggie and get to 2 moves against Azu? Is that still possible? We're going to try. So Togetic is, of course, going to go down to a Zap Cannon here unless they were to undercharge. Zap Cannon connects, knocks out our Togetic. We're going to overfarm by 5 because if they Zap Cannon at 100 energy, I can safely do 5 before they get to a Focus Blast. Gonna Earth Power here. This will knock out, but unfortunately the Azu has a lot of energy. It's already at the first Ice Beam, and I think it's even past Ice Beam because it overfarmed earlier, so I don't think we're going to be able to get to double Earth Power. And yeah, and if you're wondering why I didn't throw the Earth Power first, it wouldn't have knocked out Azumarill from that range, so really no point in me throwing until I felt like I could get to 2. Of course, you can't double up Earth Power. It's 55 energy, but you know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm saying. Nice battle there. I think the team was on a little bit of a win streak, so it comes to an end. And here we go. On to the next one. Battle against Vic. Random. Anyone used to watch Vic Star, the Sidemen YouTuber? He used to be one of my go-to YouTubers when I was a lot younger. I don't watch the Sidemen too much anymore, but occasionally if I see a video that sparks my interest, I might give it a watch. Anyway, Togetic versus Azu. I don't think this game goes well. I kept seeing Azumarill leads in this cup, and with this team, it was tough because oftentimes when Azumarill's in the lead, the Reggie's not going to have a lot of play in the back. So I go for a catch. I do lure out the Flygon, which is nice in a sense because I can just clean it up with Togetic. But the problem running into Azu lead is once I get a shield down and once he lures out the Reggie, like that Azu's going to be a problem for my back line to deal with because Flygon is a lot better when all shields are in play against Azu. When shields start to go down, suddenly Flygon is in trouble. We do land a Focus Blast here, which is kind of nice because now I might be able to Steel Wing down unless he decides to like swap out, preserve his energy. I actually decided to throw the Aerial Ace because what I didn't want to happen here was him throw a move and then dip out and then save that energy for later. I thought that could be problematic. So I actually do throw my Aerial Ace here just to get rid of this Flygon. But now as you see, the problem is this dang Azu is still kind of healthy. We're not going to be able to farm it down. So I'm going to have to try to pull off some shenanigans here to find a way to win. Azu is going to outpace us to the move, and now we're going to be down a shield against whatever Pokemon is in the back. Ice Beam, grabs our shield. I'm going to overfarm. I go for the claw. I didn't think this was quite enough, but I thought maybe I could mud shot down even if it gets unshielded. And it is a Regian back, which is a good matchup for us, but unfortunately, we have been chipped by that bubble damage, and we are in focus blast range, and we're down a shield. So, well played by the opponent. G to the G. And it was this game that made me think, what was the way? How could I have won that? I think maybe swapping FLYGON into Azu could have been a way to win, because he kind of has to stay in. You don't want to bring your own FLYGON down energy. Obviously, you can't bring Registeel. So I thought like maybe if I see another Azu, I could try swapping my own FLYGON. So I think that was one thing we took note of as we start this second set. Togetic into Gardevoir, dude. Shadow Gardevoir. And look at this, Steel Wing. We're chunking with Steel Wing here. This would not be quite as favorable if we were running Fairy Wind. So Steel Wing getting some action. And we just decide to get rid of it. I don't want to take more charm damage if I don't need to. Going to over farm here with Toge. And I think I elect to just completely stay in. And the reason being, I want to make sure I align my Registeel with this Azumarill. So I'm content just chipping as much as I can. And Togetic put in a ton of work. Beat the Gardevoir. Got this Azu to like 40% health. They undercharge, but it actually allows me to get off an Aerial Ace before I go down. So now Aerial Ace connects. Azu's quite low. I come in with Reginald Steel. In comes FLYGON, and I go for a little bit of fancy play here. I go for the Zap Cannon to potentially debuff, and I feel like he kind of has to shield at this point since he hasn't committed a shield yet, and we actually get the shield from the Zap Cannon, which would have been triple resisted, and we get the debuff as well, which is going to allow me to survive a Dragon Claw a little bit better here. I would survive it anyway, but without the debuff, it might put me at jeopardy of getting mud shot down eventually. So now I can survive it better, and we're in a pretty good situation here. Going to put up my first Protect Shield. We just need to try to get rid of this FLYGON, and we should be in a great spot. He does actually win the charge attack priority against us, so I'm going to put up my shield to make sure I land this Dragon Claw on the opposing FLYGON. And I am concerned about a potential combo play. He comes in, swaps his Azu right away, so I'm getting ready to swap, and I am able to swap as he throws his charge attack. He did one bubble there, so if he had thrown instantly, maybe he would have gotten it off first before the catch. But that is a G2, the G trainer. And we get another win on the board, baby. Another win. Let's see who we got next. Shin. Anybody know Shin Lim, the magician? Dude, I used to be like super into magic. Shin Lim, dude. Look him up if you've never heard of him. Insane magician. He had a performance on Penn and Teller Fool Us. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And here's exactly what I was talking about before. We saw the Azu lead. We think we had lost to the previous Azu lead because we stayed in and then we're down a shield and it was just kind of wacky. So I decided to swap my FLYGON, hoping that he just stays in. And the thing with this meta is even the Registeel counters are usually threatened by Reggie when shields are down. So I figured I can just play out the twos here. He will outpace me since I'm going straight earth power and I'm not baiting, but I can get both shields potentially here. And if shields are down, Registeel may in fact go to town. He may in fact go to town. And nice wait by the opponent, not allowing me to catch this move. Ice Beam, of course, will knock out the FLYGON. So we're going to wait out our clock. I mean, our switch timer is probably up by now, so no really real reason to wait out. I guess I just... Oh, interesting. I guess I felt like with shields down, Registeel was going to be more valuable than the Togetic. So that's why I guess I come in with Togetic to absorb this Ice Beam. Going for a full Steel Wing down, and then I swap Reggie last second. And this head start on Reggie is actually kind of nice, because check out what happens here. Lucario, this is only a power-up punch. He threw right away at 5. I'm debating whether I want to overfarm or just not take as much counter damage. I decided to throw right away to not take as much counter damage, but I'm not sure if that was the right decision. Let's see what comes in. What's the third Pokemon going to be? It's his own Registeel. And this game is going to come down to who wins charge attack priority, and it's us. Our Reggie wins the charge attack priority and is going to do a lot of damage. And now our Togetic can hopefully close out the game. After landing the Focus Blast, we go for Gleam. He needed to undercharge that, I think, to give himself a chance, but that's a really tough undercharge. We land the Dazzling Gleam. We farm down. We come out with an Aerial Ace. Absolutely perfect. And that is a G to the G. So a good example, right, where we had lost to the previous 1 or 2 Azumarill leads. And we're like, this doesn't seem to be working. What can we do differently? We changed how we played the Azumarill lead. And it ended up working out in the end game. Escav, terrific lead for our Togetic. Look at Togetic. Togetic definitely like more versatile than Togekiss. Togekiss is stronger in the Master League, of course, just because it gets to a stronger CP. But Togetic functions very differently. It's more flexible in certain ways than a Togekiss would be with Charm. They go for the Mega Horn, which is double resisted. Honestly, I kind of regretted throwing this Aerial Ace. I kind of wished I just completely farmed down and took another Mega Horn, came out with a ton of energy. Because then Tapu comes in, and I instant swap Reggie. And this matchup is like positive for Reggie, but with all shields still in play, it's not the best because they're going to outpace to every Surf. He comes in with Azu, and I think this was a mistake. I think, well, in his defense, maybe he's thinking I have like multiple Azu counters. So he like wanted to use it here. So that probably makes sense from his perspective. But now that Azu's out, I feel like this really opens up my back line. He does connect with the Hydro Pump. I go for the Focus Blast here, and the reason being, what I didn't want to happen was to knock out the Azu and then just give him a free Water Gun down. He actually shields it anyway. I'm going to dance around here, go for the Aerial Ace, really hoping this knocks out the Azumarill, but I think Azumarill might hang on here. Let's see what happens. Aerial Ace doesn't knock out. Do I use a Protect Shield? No, I don't. I'm going to put it on FLYGON because I'm up a shield, and I'm thinking if I can land the Earth Power, and he goes with a Savage Undercharge to give himself a head start. He knows the same thing. If he gives me a head start with whatever my back Pokemon is, he's in trouble. And at this point, I still have 2 shields. I wasn't 100% sure on my energy counts, but I was willing to bet that there was no way Tapu Fini was going to get it to 3 Surfs before I could get to 2 Earth Power. So I just decided to shield both moves here. And actually, we get to an Earth Power. This should knock out the Tapu Fini. Boom. Knocks it out. We still have a shield to hide behind. And we're going to mud shut down the Azu for a GG. Let's go. I think we got a couple more battles in this video. Who's next? Praiser, Chris Praiser. Popular battler from Brazil, I believe. Tough lead to Dene. So we're going to safe swap Registeel here. Reggie surprisingly does quite well against the Dene, even though all of our charge moves are resisted. Reggie just has a much better stat product than Dedenne, so we can 2-shot Dedenne with our charge moves. And Dedenne needs at least 3. If we get a debuff, 3 might not even be enough. And we do get that attack drop with our Zap Cannon. So now I am going to take another Discharge, and I'm probably going to go for Focus Blast here, just to try and get it off a little bit sooner. And this will probably force a shield from Dedenne. Let's see what happens. Focus Blast does grab a shield indeed. It's a little bit awkward here. I try to catch, but he throws right before my switch timer came up. So nice recognition by Chris Praiser. And Discharge knocks us out. I come in with Flygon. Going to respect a potential Play Rough here. I knew he had enough energy for it. So we do respect the Play Rough. He makes the swap into Tapu Fini, and I'm a little concerned. I'm thinking, it's probably double water. Anytime I see Tapu Fini come in, I just think it's like Tapu Fini Azu backline. So I'm a little bit concerned. I come in Togetic here. And check out what happens. I am going to take a move. I believe it ends up being a Surf. And Togetic is going to be able to take double Surf and farm all the way down. So let's see how this plays out. Another Surf coming through. Puts our Togetic low. We're going to come out with energy. So if Dedenne shows up, I'm going to have to throw a move to get rid of it. Throw my Aerial Ace here. Hoping there's something in the back. Maybe I'll have some neutral play against. And what's in the back? It's a Skarmory. And that is a anticlimactic finish and a G to the G. And that was kind of the story of Fantasy Cup for me. I felt like there were a lot more games for me that were either like a hard won or a hard loss. I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of in between. I feel like more maybe in Open Great League, you'll get like, let's say 25% of games that you're just going to hard win, 25% of games you're going to hard lose, and 50% that might have some neutral play. Fantasy Cup for me felt like it was like 40% hard win, 40% hard loss, and 20% neutral play. So we lose the lead to another Dedenne. We're going to swap Reggie. We're met by Lucaris. This is looking pretty rough. Pretty rough. I go for the Zap Cannon bait. Honestly, this is probably a mistake because what you're going to see happen here is even though I get the debuff, he still is going to get the full farm down anyway. So I probably should have just gone for Focus Blast to give him less farm. Now this Lucario is going to put in some work against our Togetic. We are going to call the Power Up Punch Bay. I didn't really want to use a shield because I know my Togetic is lined up against a Dedenne anyway. I'm probably going to go for an Aerial Ace. He might catch it. Oh, so I actually predict the catch, which is nice. So we make one good read here. Going to have to respect a potential play rough. He discharge baits me. This guy plays super aggressive. Like, he's already way ahead in this game, and he's, like, still baiting. Very savage player, of course. And we're going to go for the Earth Power here. Earth Power connects. We're like, okay, maybe we still have a shot. I go for the Claw. This is only a power-up punch, but I kind of wish I didn't take this. Maybe I still would have had more health. But we do go for our Dragon Claw here. Will this be enough to knock out Lucario? It is. And what's in back? It's another Skarmory. Two games in a row where we just had absolutely zero chance of winning. As long as our opponent didn't make any like huge mistakes. So that's unfortunate. I go for the Claw here, just playing it out. But this game is over. And I mean, I kind of deserve it, right? This team is double weak ABA to Skarmory. So the fact that we were going to lose to two Skarmories that we weren't able to align with our Red Steel makes sense. But we still get a 3-2 set there. I think the set before that was either 3-2 or 4-1. And a nice little showcase with the Legacy Steel Wing Togetic. That's the last battle of Fantasy Cup, ladies and gents. Looking forward to Great League action. Also, let me know in the comments if there's any Pokemon you want to see me try out in the Great League. Unfortunately, I don't have an Annihilate right now. So, oh, you know what? I need to trade. I'm going to hit up that guy if he has extra Primeapes. Also, I think Mankey is spawning as of today, later today or something. So that's what I heard from somebody. So maybe I'll go out, grind some Mankey so I can build myself a handy-dandy Annihilate, which is going to be really good. It already is really good in the Go Battle League. So all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share it with your friends, share it with your neighbor down the street. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.